My name is Pete Reddecup, and we are live here from Belize, Central America. And I've got with me here tonight Mr. Dennis Roberts from Winnipeg, Manitoba. Dennis, are you there?
I'm here. How was Pete today?
Hey, I'm doing all right. I can tell you, I've had quite an incident here today, and I was just sharing with Dennis before we went live here. We had an interesting little scenario down here in Belize with our home actually being broken into, and they stole all of our computers and computer equipment. But thanks to some great police work down here today, they made 5 arrests today, and we actually got our computers back. So just hours before the webinar. So, but anyways, I'm thankful, and I'm glad you took the time out to be on this Monday night Laminine webinar. I must apologize in advance. As I didn't have a computer all day, I didn't do my normal emails and the normal follow-ups and posts I would normally do on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and did not do any of that today because of the situation here. So I'm a little behind the 8 ball here today. So Dennis, maybe you can start off the day a little bit and just let's share a little bit where we left off last week. I know last week you gave some great ideas and success tips about building your business, and I had Skype messages, I had emails about what was that Dennis said, and I think further elaboration needs to take place on the things you talked about, because there was an awful lot of interest in what you were sharing, Dennis. So maybe that's a place to start today. So let me turn it over to you, Dennis.
Okay, thanks, Pete. Yeah, last week I have a little bit of trouble with my internet connection. I hope I don't this week. I changed a few things, but I got a little bit more to do to get it straightened out, and it takes time. But anyway, hopefully we don't get lost today. Just going to retouch on Fiverr, and Fiverr is a program that you can go and use people to advertise your business. And Fiverr.com has several different categories that you can use. I've used them on occasion for different things. I've had some mixed results, but they, if you don't spend a little bit, you don't get a little bit, and that's really what the whole game is. And with the product that we have now, it's working so well, and it's spread across the net so good. People just got to pull it up, and they can watch a YouTube video on just about anything. I mean, there's a myriad of YouTube videos on Laminine, which is good for us because it really works well. One of the things that I set up just recently is on my egg website is I changed my phone number from a local phone number to a 1-800 number. And there's a few reasons for me doing this, because when I use Fiverr and I'm going to have some leaflets out being handed out by people I hire for the $5 or $10 or whatever it may be, I don't particularly want my cell phone number, so I use an 800 number because people are more apt to call it. I don't know if you've had any of that. You've tried any of that before, Pete, but that's something that I know that works pretty good. So I got 800 Link, which it runs about $20 a month, and it's a great program. You can there's a myriad of things inside the program to use. When someone calls you, you get an email, and it tells you, right. It's particularly if you're like me, I'm on the road. I get an email that tells me somebody called and left a message. I can listen to the message, and I can call them back. I can say, hey, how are you, and what got you interested, and oh, this is where you've seen it, so you know what's working, what isn't working. So Pete, that's something that I set up as a 1-800 number, and it's really inexpensive to do. So
now, do you have a link for that, Dennis? Do you have something you can post in the chat area in case our viewers would like to know exactly what it is?
Sure, I will. I'll put the URL in there for you, Pete.
That would be appreciated, Dennis, because as people watch the replay and that, and whatever we post in the chat area here, obviously is visible to anyone on the replay. So that's the beautiful thing about these Google Hangouts, is that we can have a small unannounced webinar, even a small group like we are here tonight, and yet have the potential to reach thousands and thousands of people with the replay, because we all have the ability to broadcast that replay on our Facebook, our LinkedIn, our Twitter, our social media. And there you see Dennis Roberts' www.800link.com is the website that he's promoting. And also maybe put the link in for Fiverr as well. I know you talked about Fiverr as well, and last week we had a lot of people ask questions about that. And I think toward the end we did post the link, but I still got a lot of questions about it. So it might be a great idea to have that marketing link, and that's probably where you're going to go next, Dennis, with your talk here. So there's the link. Dennis just put it in, fiverr.com, 2 R's, I believe I'm seeing there. Is that correct, Dennis? And
yeah, that's correct. Yeah, it's 2 R's at the end. Yeah. Last week I think I spelled it wrong. I wasn't thinking about. I go into it so often it's kind of placed on my computer. Yeah. So by having the 800 number, for $20 they give you 1,000 minutes. Generally, if somebody uses the number to phone you, it's usually under a minute anyway. Chances are you won't use the whole 1,000, and then you can roll them over to the next month. Of course, when your business gets a little bigger, you can buy more minutes if you think you're going to use over 1,000, and it's not that expensive. So it's one way too to stay away from some of the spam that you get. There's people that are how do you say loudmouths, and who like to really razz you. So you can block them on this program, which is really good. I like that. They can't keep calling you back, and that's one of the reasons why I like to use this 1-800 link.
No, that sounds great, Dennis. I mean, all the tools we can use to help us grow our business and share with our members who are within our organization. I know it was Christy, and I believe Christy's in the room here today. She was one of the ones that was asking questions last week in regards to that particular one as well. So, Christy, how are you doing? All is well in your world? I'm assuming you're dialing in from Oklahoma, so great to have you with us here this evening as well. Now, Christy, I've known Christy for a number of years, and she's an awesome individual, and always interested in helping other people and growing her business as well. And that's another one of the reasons we do the Hangouts here, guys, to help you and assist you with your businesses and growing them. And we're going to talk about a variety of ideas. Tonight we're going to keep the webinar fairly short. We're not going to drag on a long time tonight, but I really want to put some heavy marketing emphasis, and I want to invite you guys to join me in doing the same for our upcoming webinar. Now, we just started this series, so we've got a lot of time to really grow this webinar to something that's really sizable, where people are being impacted, where we bring testimonials on, where people are like, wow, that was amazing, that was awesome. Like, where they leave with a sense of value. Because one of the things that I've always tried to do over the course of the years is to bring value to the table, as we're doing with these Hangouts, to assist and help you guys. But one of the things that I love to do in terms of marketing is, just like Dennis, I like to use my Egg of Life website. Now, the Egg of Life website, if you guys don't have one, you really need to get one. Now, it's obviously for members only. You need to be a member. So once you join and you have an IBO number, you go to the eggoflife.com, and then you go and order your own free personalized website from your sponsor's Egg of Life website. So you need to contact your sponsor and get their Egg of Life link so that you go to the bottom and order your own. Now, there's a ton of stuff on the Egg of Life that I really love to direct people's attention to, and that's one of the things that I've done to really grow my business. Because one of my favorite questions, if I'm in a Facebook group or a Skype group, which I'm involved in a lot of them, one of my favorite things is to watch people as they're doing their marketing and as they're typing and they're posting about their primary businesses, which of course everyone's always eager to tell you about their primary business program or product. So what I do is I kind of just mellow in there and I ask them questions about them. I ask them questions about their business, like how well is your primary business doing? Is there room for improvement? would you be open to taking a look at something that could benefit your health? Because I'm a big advocate and a big believer of health health has to come before wealth, right? We all agree when we don't have health, like, I mean, you've all heard my story, right, of my stroke, my inflammation, and the pain I used to have. I mean, again, I couldn't do this, you know what I mean? My hands were so swollen, I couldn't even spin my ring on my finger, and as you can see, I can clearly do that today. I can spin it around, and that was impossible for me to do before Laminine because I was so inflamed. I had so much problem with joint pain and all that associated with the stroke and the arthritis I had, that I really make a special point out of asking people, you know what, how are you? Rather than the old traditional cliche, hey, how you doing, right? We all do it, right? Oh yeah, good, good, good. And take the time to ask people, no, really, how is your health doing? You know, talk to them about your health, your loved ones, your family, any health concerns going on? And see, when I ask that and I have a genuine interest, people are very often open books, and they immediately open up and they say, wow, you know, I've got this, I've got that, or you know, a friend who's got that. And I am really, you know what, I really make it a point to really express interest in them as an individual, not just as a dollar sign, not just as my next target, not as my next victim, as so many people do. Like, you walk on a car lot, you know what I mean, and a salesman pounces on you. The old you know, adage there is, whoa, I feel pressured into something. I really don't feel comfortable in that scenario. But if you do it with genuine interest and you ask people, people are open books and love to share their problems, their challenges, their issues with you. And I know Dennis gave some really good testimonial last week. It was a little choppy. We lost him sort of through it. Today he's coming through loud and clear. And maybe for the record, Dennis, maybe we could get you to sort of redo your testimonial kind of the way you did last week. But it was really good, but it was really choppy. So for the sake of the recording, why don't you give your testimonial a bit, Dennis, and also a little bit of business building information about this Fiverr and how you can use it to best build your business and things like that, if you're okay with that, Dennis?
Sure, yeah, okay, Pete, yeah. Well, I've been taking Laminine now for since mid-November, so I'm 2 months now. I'm a professional truck driver, and for 37 years, and it's been pretty rough up and down the road. I guess one of the things that Laminine did for me was it gave me my concentration back, which, if you can imagine driving a semi-truck, there's all kinds of things going on. And the older you get, the more you lose. So, yeah, it has given me that that extra bit of concentration, that I can think and I can see things going on better. Some of the recent things that have happened, you know, I have a wicked clutch knee. My left knee really bothered me, and just recently it started to alleviate. And that's only been in the last few weeks. And it's not completely 100%. It's, you know, it's 50%. So my thoughts is Laminine is working. It's just it's taken its time to get to certain things, and that is you know, something I was a little bit amazed at. I was sure that you know, my doctors had told me that will never go away, and you'll get that pain all the time. So that's been somewhat alleviated, which is really amazing. So for the last couple months, yeah, you know, my sleep has been really good. And for me, because I can be real jittery after I finish driving, to settle down is really something. Yeah, and it's what propelled me into this business. Of course, I had to take it to see what it was like. And that's what it's all about. You know, if the product was no good, you know what, A, I wouldn't take it, and B, I would never promote it. I'm just like that. Um, I guess the other thing too is the new year came and I was satisfied with the product, so I'm just starting out to start promoting it and talk to people about it. And I just got my business cards just recently here last week. Um, I'm working, like I said, with the 800 link. I got the 800 number and Fiverr. Well, if you want to go to Fiverr, just go to the Fiverr.com and simply read about it and all the different gigs that are there. And there might be something there that suits you. One of the things you got to do with Fiverr is you got to go through it all. And you got to work with a person that is going to work with you and you're happy with, and but it's a real cheap way to advertise, and it's a way to get to get some action going. And you know what? You may not get a lot of people, in your first couple of tries, but for $5 or $10, you want to do that once a week for sure. But you want to put a little bit more, 20, 25, and you know what? You get a few different gigs going, and you get a couple calls, and you get some things going in other places. So that's what I'm going to be trying in the very near future. But your best bet is to go there and read about it. That's what your best bet. And Pete, I don't know. Did we lose you, Pete? I think we lost Pete. But,
no, you didn't lose me, Dennis. I just put myself into mute mode here, so not to disturb your talk there. So I am here listening to every word you were saying there, Dennis. So.
Yeah, that's basically it, Pete. And I haven't, like I said, I just started in early January here. I've got a trucking business that I run, so and it's not so busy now. So I know I've got about 3 months here to really get my business going. And like I said, I just got up and running here now, and we should be going this week. We should have some advertising out with Fiverr, and I'm going to be looking at a few other things by the weekend. So you know what? I'm hoping to get some leads here, and we're going to get rolling here right away. Yep.
Well, that is great, Dennis. That's good news to me, and I love to hear stuff like that. And I am more than willing to help you with anything I can personally do to assist you. So if you want to do a little private little hangout session or something with a group of people, just let me know. I'm here to be of service to you as I am to everyone in our network. Now, guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to activate a little bit of screen sharing because I want to share some additional things with you, and I want to thank you, Dennis, for your sharing here and your dedication, your being here on this webinar tonight. So, and for those of you on the replay here, one of the things that I'm going to focus on today as well on the webinar here is how to really help us spread the message about our webinars. Now, as you can clearly see, I just posted the link in the room there for last week's webinar replay. Now, what's really awesome about this platform here is Google Hangouts automatically posts the replay onto YouTube for us, and it basically starts, and we have the ability to share this. We have the ability to, when you have that link there, and you can go to that, and you can share that directly on your Facebook. Now I want to show you how to do that. I'm logged into my account here, so it's displaying my Laminine webinar here as the admin of this channel here, right? Now you can see we didn't get any spectacular views or anything like that. We got 41 views, so 41 of our members took the time to watch it. Now this is not just for members, and that's the message that I want to convey here, guys. This is not just for members. The members benefit greatly by what we share in these Hangouts, but as we add more value to these Hangouts, we want to make these replays so good that people will be like, wow, that was amazing. I got to share this with my sister-in-law. I got to share this with my brother. I got to share this with my aunt. I got to share this with my uncle, because you know what? That information was amazing on Alzheimer's or cancer or whatever the topic is. And this is how you guys do this. You go to the bottom of the webinar after you've listened to the replay or any YouTube video for that matter that you want to share. You click the share button. Now the share automatically opens up, your Facebook. So you one click, you can share that on your Facebook. You could even, let's say at the 5-minute and 31-second mark is where you want them to start. And there's an amazing bit of information. You don't want them to listen to a whole 3-hour webinar if it's or an hour-long webinar. You want to focus on, maybe the area where you did a testimonial or you thought that information was amazing. You can check this box and you can start that webinar at any point you feel is great for your prospect or your family member. So you click Facebook, you log in, you share, and it always prompts you to say your own words. It includes your own Egg of Life website for more information, and I do that on every single one. Now, I'm going to go through the motions here just to show you guys how I do this. I'm going to do it with Twitter here. I have a huge follow base on Twitter, so I go to Twitter here, for example, share with your link. Now, it automatically suggests the link here, right? This says Laminine webinar. It doesn't say much for Twitter. So what I usually like to do is I like to add something to that, because just Laminine webinar and a link, that's boring, right? I wouldn't click on that. I wouldn't go and listen to that. So you want to spice it up a little bit. So what I do here is an example here. In this session, and you can't say much, so you have to be very careful. In this session, you will be amazed. You'll be amazed at what this does for pain. Okay, it's just an example, right? So now I've got that, and so I'm still okay. So I've got 24 characters left that I can tweet out to people. And what I often like to do is I like to throw my Egg of Life website in there if there's room. Now, in this particular one, I probably won't have room to do that because I'll run out of characters here real quick, but let me try. Now, I don't add any additional words like for more information. You can't do that on Twitter because it's just too short. So let's see if we have enough room. www, I don't think we're going to, .egg of life. See, we're down to, see, I might only be able to do eggoflife.com. So, and then I don't really want to do that. So you know what? I'm just going to leave it out in this case because they're going to contact me for more information. That's what most people do. If they're on your webinar, so if I can't do my full link, I don't put any link because I'm just driving traffic somewhere else. So now I'll hit the tweet button. So I'll tweet, all done, right? It's finished. So now I go to Google+. I do the same thing. I'd copy and paste. If I was happy with what I just posted, I would go and just copy and paste and do it all over again. Now I've already tweeted and I've already done all this on the previous webinar here, so I'm not going to redo this today, but I'm just going to show you for demonstration purposes. There you see a picture of Dennis from the last night's replay. That's the thumbnail that I chose. Now in the comment section here with Google+, you can do a lot more. So you can share this with all your circles, as I did. Here I share this with all the circles here. And some of these circles, like this circle here, as you can see, I have 1,437 friends in that one circle alone. And my public to my wall here. So in here, I put my Egg of Life website, and I'd write a little something. Yeah, guys, what a great information session here for those that want to learn a little bit more about your health. Like, spice it up a little bit. Share things that are relevant. And again, your Egg of Life or your main Life Farm Global website link right there. Now, same with Facebook, and then I also always do LinkedIn as well, right? So LinkedIn, you can get a little more creative with. They allow you more characters than Twitter does, so you can say quite a bit more here. So here, one of the first things I like to do is I always go to my Egg of Life website, which I'll go to right now here, and there you see my URL, eggoflife.com/kill pain. So there it is. I got my link now for the Egg of Life. So I go back to the area here and got the right link here. I had an open window here. Where'd it go? It disappeared on me. The wonders of Windows 7 and how it works. Okay, here it is. So now I'll share an update. You will be amazed. And this is one of my marketing techniques, guys. What I do is if I've got an area I'm really, really impressed with about the webinar, you will be amazed at what Dennis shares with you. Like this is just an example I'm doing right now. What Dennis shares with you at the 12-minute mark, right? So that's just an example. You will be amazed what Dennis, whoops, my mouse went all over the place here. At the 12, you will be amazed. Okay, let me go back here. This messed all up here. Okay. You will be amazed what Dennis shares with, let me go back here. This is really wonky today. Us, I'll put here, shares with us at the 12-minute mark. Now, I'm not going to post this. I'm just using this as an example here because I have no idea if Dennis even speaks at the 12-minute mark. So I want to make sure that, so you want to be listening to the webinar to make sure that you know what you're sharing, what you're saying, and then, of course, your Egg of Life website or your Life Farm Global website, and the link will automatically be shared up here, and you know, you just send that out. Again, from LinkedIn, I can automatically post it to Twitter as well, so I usually go to LinkedIn first, then I don't have to bother doing Twitter, and then I will go and post that to groups as well, or you can send it to individuals. So let's say I have an individual mind. I just spoke to someone about cancer or pain or arthritis or whatever the case may be. So I go in here, send it as an individual to start typing a name. So in here, let's see if I'm connected. I'm probably not connected to Dan. If I was, it would already show there. So let's say I want to share this with one of my contacts here. And let's say I just talked to Diane, right? This is an example here. So Diana comes up, and maybe I just had a conversation with you. And it says here, Pete Redicup wants to share this with you. Thought you might be interested in this. Now the message, I would again go and customize that. I wouldn't leave that in there, and I would say, hello Diana, you will be amazed at this information here, and it could help you, like whatever you want to say. So I'm giving this to you as an example of how to do this on social media, because I love using social media to get my messages across, and it's a wonderful tool, guys, if you use it. Now I'm not going to share that, but I wanted to just give you examples here on the screen share of how this all works. Now, Dennis, is the screen share coming through okay? Can you see my screen fairly well?
Yeah, Pete, I can see it
pretty
well, yeah. Mm-hmm. Good.
Okay, perfect. Good. So that's what I want. If you wanted to come across you guys, is if you have Pinterest or if you have any one of these other social medias, I don't belong to many of these, Dig, and there's all kinds of them, okay, and many different social medias that I don't belong to, but you know, just go and share the webinar link with the ones that you do belong to, so that you can really start your online presence. And you know what, guys? One thing you'll notice, the more stuff that you start sharing, it doesn't have to be your own content. It really doesn't. It's just something that you feel is really awesome, something that you feel is amazing, something that you want to get a message across. You start sharing on a regular basis. I'll tell you one thing. Your network on Twitter, social, and all social medias, on LinkedIn, Google+, your numbers will grow. They won't grow overnight, but they will grow very rapidly. And before you know it, you're going to have hundreds, and then you're going to have thousands of followers that you can market to, right? Now, you don't want to just spam them any old thing. I mean, you want to bring value into whatever it is you're sharing. So, I mean, I take the time to try to market my own stuff. Like I just did a marketing campaign here with my personal story with Laminine and from Belize. So then I track it, kind of, like what I upload it into a way where I can track it. You can use Bitly, many different things, so you can see exactly what kind of hits you're getting, and you can really find out if your advertising is working for you or not. So that's just a tip, guys, that you want to use. Now, go back to the Egg of Life website. One of the things that I really like to do when I have an interested person, and I've got a gal, she was on our last Monday webinar, and I know she wouldn't mind me saying her name. I had her on Facebook for a couple of weeks. She's a really devoted Christian gal out of Calgary. Her name is Esther. And Esther and I began a little relationship just through Facebook, through a post I did for a video about Laminine. Now that's the you know, guys, watch the video Laminine. If you haven't already watched the video about Laminine, I'm not talking Laminine now, I'm talking Laminine, and you'll find it on my YouTube channel. Go to my YouTube channel. If you want to know what I'm talking about, I mean, this is what laminine, the word laminine is derived from laminin, and it's the glue, the cell adhesion molecule laminin. It's the glue that bonds us together. It's the glue that holds us together, guys. That little video, I mean, that video is wow. Now, Esther was sharing that video with me, and I heard and studied quite a few things in the past about laminin, so I was already knowledgeable on what laminin was. It's the cross, right? It's inside every human body. And the cross itself holds the key. I mean, it's the cell adhesion molecule that keeps our skin on, that does everything. I mean, that makes us us, right? So Esther was sharing this with me, and I started sharing Laminine with her, and then all of a sudden, after a little while, you know, got this relationship built up, and she was a total stranger to me. She was a friend of someone else I knew on Facebook. And that's the beauty of social media. When you market, and she's marketing my Laminine website right now, she's marketing my videos right now, and she hasn't joined yet, but she said she had some personal things going on in her life, and I respect that. And one of the things that Esther said to me was, she says, when I come in here in January, and I will come in January, I will come out the gate running. I've got people lined up that are coming with me, all coming into Laminine, because we feel this is something so truly worth sharing with others. And that's what Dennis said here as well. You know what? I mean, his own personal testimonial is pretty darn good, because you know what? He wouldn't represent this company or this product if it wasn't working for him. I wouldn't be standing before you here today giving this webinar here, you know what, if I didn't truly feel this was something that would truly benefit you guys. So, I mean, Laminine is a whole food and a synergistic whole superfood, the happy pill. Now, why do they call it the happy pill? Now, that's a good question. I've had a lot of people asking that question. Why do they call Laminine the happy pill? Well, I'm going to tell you one thing. It contains 22 amino acids, trace minerals, vitamins, and of course, the fibroblast growth factor. Now, the fibroblast growth factor is something that no other product out there has this. This doesn't compare to any vitamin, any pill, anything out there on the market. And this is not a vitamin, guys. The happy pill here, Laminine, is fibroblast growth factor, FGF. And of course, with all the amino acids that they combined it with, this product packs a punch. And when I say a punch, I mean, there's clinical studies, guys, to back up what I'm saying to you here. I mean, I've had very big marketers from Australia that have called me, even when I was looking at Laminine, when Sean originally shared this with me, and they were telling me stuff about Laminine and what it's doing for them. And these people, like, I mean, these people were earning, you know, like $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 a month in network marketing. They got a hold of Laminine, and they started taking it, and they started realizing what this product does to the serotonin levels in your brain. It raises the serotonin levels while it effectively changes your physical, mental state, especially if you're not in a good emotional state. What it does is it lowers the cortisol levels in your brain. And the cortisol levels, it reduces those, and it raises the serotonin. So it raises the good and it drops the bad, right? Now this can give you overall great emotional health and feeling and everything, and it gives you mental clarity like Dennis was sharing, and thus the happy pill, folks. You will notice better sleep, more energy, more productive, better memory retention, all of these things, and all of a sudden your mood just begins to pick up and you start smiling again. And you know, the stem cell, the laminin, you know what, it's amazing, guys. I want you to guys to do a little bit of homework. I want you to go to Google, and let's do it right now. Let's do it together here. Let's go to Google here and let's punch in Laminine, Lamin, Laminine, not Laminine now, Laminine, right? Punch that in and let's see what happens, what it is. Now let's go to images here and let's just take a look at what exactly is this laminine. It's in every single human body. And a lot of people believe it's why the Catholics always do, you've seen it many times, right? They do the cross, up, down, across the chest, up, down, sideways. Because of the fact that laminine, cell adhesion molecule, that's in every single one of us. I mean, this is under a microscope. This is at the molecular level. This is what the cell adhesion molecule laminine looks like. And that is where the word laminine is derived from. So as you hear on Google Images and you see this, I mean, it is just absolutely amazing. And you see all these images, how I learned to love laminine. See, all of these kinds of things are great for you guys to use in your marketing efforts. So here's a little bit of homework for you. When you become a marketer, you know what? You share things of value. And one of the things that you might want to do is take and save some images like this that are out there and share these kinds of images along with a little bit of information, a little video, that little 6-minute video that I shared on my YouTube channel. I mean, if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, guys, get subscribed because there's a lot of great content that is shared there. And I shared that 6-minute video that Esther shared with me, and stuff like this. I love to save images like this. And it's as simple as right-clicking it and going and save image as, right? So I'll do that right now. Save image as. So in this case, I'm going to call it laminine, right? Laminine, not laminine, laminine. And I want to save that on my desktop because I don't want it to get buried. I want to post it to social media here in the next couple of days along with my Laminine link and a little write-up in the video, a little 6-minute video from this pastor. Now, there we go, save, done. So now, if I go minimize my platform here, you'll see right there it is, Laminine, right? Here's the image that I just saved onto my desktop. So now I can go open that image up and then there it is. Now, how great wouldn't that be? Imperial College London. I mean, you know, it may not be 100% relevant to what I want to market it for, but that's okay. There's millions of images on Google that you can go through and share them with your people on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, wherever, along with your articles, because that's what a marketer does. A marketer finds things of value and shares them. Like there's the cell adhesion laminine. That's at the molecular state under a microscope here. I mean, the story of laminine is quite interesting. If you haven't reversed yourself on laminine without the E, go and do so. You'll be amazed at what you find. Very often when I go to Google and I search things, especially if it's something visual, I will always click on images rather than the web, like the type portion, because I find the images very fascinating, and if I want to get a good video on laminine, I will go to videos. Then here, look at this. When I go to Google, look at the very, very first thing that comes up. Here he is, Louis Giglio. I think that's how you pronounce his name. This is the video that I shared. This is the video that Esther shared with me. Now, I don't know if we can watch this really good together here, and we may not need to, but you know what? I have it on my YouTube channel, but I'm going to take and save this link. I want to share this link.
And I'll tell you how you can know
with you
tonight
guys.
that God
Copy. Now, obviously, he's a pastor.
hold you together.
Okay.
No matter
But
what.
he's
It's my love.
powerful. He's a powerful speaker, guys. And I'm going to post it in the chat. And I'm going to end the screen sharing on that note, but I will post it in the chat room here. So let me end the screen sharing. That should have ended the screen sharing. It's still, oh, there it is, stop. I gotta hit the stop button there. All right, now we stop the screen sharing. Now I'm going to go to the chat area here, and I'm going to post that link that I just pulled off Google there. It's the same link that I've been sharing on Facebook. For those of you that are on my Facebook, you could have already seen that. That's the link that Esther shared with me. There's a long version of it, a 42-minute version. It's on my to-do list to watch the entire 42 minutes, but this is just a 6-minute version to give you guys a glimpse into what I've been talking about, what I'm so passionate about, what Esther was so passionate about. So she's going to come out the gate here running with me, and I'm excited about that. And I just, you know what, I'm really excited you guys took the time out of your schedule to be on this information session here this evening. And we've shared many things, and we're going to do this again next Monday, every Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. And these are going to get a lot better, guys. They're going to get really, really good. I mean, Dennis and I are just getting fired up. We're going to be working this platform together, and I really like Dennis's style. I mean, he's ambitious. He's excited about the product, and I'll have other people like my friend Abe Giesbrecht and many others coming on down the road yet that are going to be sharing with us some amazing testimonials and whatnot. So, Dennis, do you have anything else that you want to share? Anything that I maybe missed throughout the webinar here? Anything you want to add in closing here, Dennis?
Well, you know, Pete, that was really good that you went through what you did there, because you know every little bit gives ideas to us all, and you know that's what teamwork is about, you know, and that's what we're here. You know, we're here for ourselves, but we're here for everybody. So, you know, anything we can come up with is great, and I really like that, because there were some things there I you know what, I never have gotten to, or I've forgotten about. So, you know, it's good to have the mind reminded again about, you know, what we can do. So yeah, this room is going to get a lot better in the future, and you know what, we're going to put together a great team and a great hangout. This is going to be a good place to come and to learn. And that's what we want to do. We want to make everybody happy. We want to have, we all want to have success. Hey, you know what? One day I want to get out of that seat of that truck, and you know what? I'm not going to do it if I don't try something else different. So, yeah, Pete, that's great to see that. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I was glad to share things, and I know down the road you're gonna be sharing things, and I'm gonna be like, wow, that's awesome. And that's how we learn from each other, right? I mean, very often we know something, we know how to share something, or whatever it is, we know it, but you know what, we just haven't done it so long, we forgot about it, and all of a sudden somebody does it right in front of our eyes. It's like, wow, cool, I could do that. I could get better in that department, because we all have our strengths and we all have our weaknesses, right? I mean, I have some strengths that I am really proud about, and I have some weaknesses that I'm not so proud about. So I always believe in working on my strengths, you know, and while I slowly perfect my weaknesses. But you know what? That's what this webinar, again, this hangout is going to be all about. It's going to be about us really coming together as a team and doing some great things. So on that note, guys, I want to end it here tonight, and I want to say thank you. If you have any questions at all, my Skype ID is InvestNow2. It's INVESTNOW2. If you have any questions whatsoever, any help I can be of, or if I can be of service to you, please do not hesitate to get in contact with me, and we'll look forward to working with you. And we'll see you again next week, Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on this hangout here for Google+. Thank you so much. Dennis, thank you for all. Thank you to all our guests and our attendees and those watching the replay. We look forward to working with you guys. Have an awesome.
See you later.